In my search for the highest quality rolling stock, I have a couple new entries. And these are 3-bay open hoppers. I have this from Arrowhead. I have never purchased anything from Arrowhead before. And actually, it wasn't until I was on the Spring Creek website looking through what they had that I saw Arrowhead. Otherwise, I probably still wouldn't know about them. And here I have a Broadway Limited 3-bay open hopper. I didn't even know Broadway Limited made rolling stock. So this is going to be interesting. There's a big difference in price here. The Broadway Limited car is $32. And the Arrowhead car, I paid $56. I bought these a while back, and I've been busy with some other things. So they just sat here on my modeling table for a while, and now I've gotten around to taking a look at them. And I haven't opened these. I have no idea what to expect, so we'll figure that out together. Let's open up this Broadway Limited model and see what we have. I apologize for my hands. I've been doing some restoration work on my 1970 Olds Rally 350. My hands get really dirty. Alright. Well, this packaging is different than what I'm used to. Oh, got a coal load. Let's come out. Yep, it does. Coal load comes out. If you want to do operations with this, that would be a plus. Not much to see on the inside. So let's take a look at the outside. Printing looks pretty good. Way of the Zephyrs, kind of place it in history, a time frame. Ladder grabs look a little bit heavy, a little bit thick. I'm assuming this is the uncoupling lever. Not much to see on that end. Couplers. I can't tell if they're metal or plastic. I want to say they're plastic, but I don't know for sure. There's an air hose. It's like the wheels wobble around in those trucks pretty good. Not much going on the bottom. At least the draft gearboxes have a screw where you can get at them. If you need to make some adjustments, you can do that. Again, the grabs and the stirrup step and the coupling lever are pretty heavy. You know, they look pretty thick. Yeah. Not real highly detailed. Certainly not compared to what we've been looking at. Coupler to coupler, this model's about 6 inches long, so it should weigh 4 ounces. And it weighs 2.8 ounces, which is pretty darn light. Break-in coupler height on the model is really good. Coupler height on this end is excellent as well. I'm not even going to bother comparing it to the KD. I mean, it's obviously far inferior. This was money wasted, I guess, because this is certainly not a keeper. If I do a purge on rolling stock, this one would get the cut. I do like the paint job, but the model, the quality of the model just isn't high enough. It's not what I'm looking for. Moving on to the Arrowhead models. And this is a 3-bay hopper. Hopefully I spent my money a little more wisely. Although $56, it's not a cheap model. So I have high expectations for it. Let's see if it meets them. What do we have here? Do I like winning? I do like winning. How does free product from Arrowhead models sound? Well, that sounds pretty good. I'll have to read that later. You know, I have to say, I am a fan of the Rio Grande. I think next to the Southern Pacific, the Denver and Rio Grande Western is probably my favorite railroad. And that short period of time when the SP and the Rio Grande were merged was kind of cool. Now in my town, you know, this is an SP town, there was a time after the merger, and this is before I started paying attention to things like road numbers and all that. This is quite a while ago. There was an SP Jeep. I'm guessing it was probably a GP38-2. And a Rio Grande Jeep. I'm guessing it was a GP40-2. That were lashed up together and worked my area, which would be like Buckeye, Arizona, Goodyear, Tolleson, West Phoenix. So that was pretty neat. But anyway, Rio Grande. I like the Rio Grande. So let's get this model out of the box and see how it looks. Looks like I got to get it out of the cardboard. I don't want to break it. All right. All right. I can already see it's a lot nicer than the Broadway Limited model. So does the coal load come out? I'm going to be careful with this, I don't break it. It's got a lot of fine parts. Can't tell if the load comes out. I don't think it does, which is a little bit surprising for a model of this price that the load wouldn't come out. And I'm not going to mess with it because I don't want to break it. So, you know, we have it upside down, so let's look at the bottom. So there's a lot of hardware for the lower chutes. And if I get the terminology wrong, I apologize. So it has Phillips flathead screws right here for the couplers. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different setup than what I'm used to seeing. Some of the side detail for the bottom shows up. I think I'm having a little bit of trouble focusing on this black. But man, what a difference in the grabs. Step, grabs. And coupling lever. So much more fine. See-through platform for the brake wheel. It's almost straight. It is pretty straight. Yeah, it really has a hard time focusing on this black. Air hose is plastic. See, there's no wobble in the wheels like with the Broadway Limited car. A Broadway Limited car, I mean, that borderlined on being toy quality. So real nice detail with this model. The details are really fine. The grabs and the uncoupling lever. All these sidebars. Really nice. Really nice. I would say my only negative would be the coal load not coming out. And maybe it does. Or maybe it doesn't. I guess that would be the only negative. Other than that, it looks really nice. All right, let's check the wheels. Perfect. Yeah, I think I'd be shocked if I found a car with wheels out of gauge. This car is just under 6 inches, so it should weigh about 4 ounces. And it weighs 2.9 ounces, so it is light. Coupler height on the brake end is absolutely perfect. Coupler height on this end is absolutely perfect. Arrowhead Models calls this Denver and Rio Grande Western 3-bay hopper a Bethlehem Steel Company committee designed hopper. It is a beautiful model. It has super fine stirrup steps, grabs, uncoupling lever, beautiful see-through platform, nice brake detail, Katy couplers. Coupler height was perfect. The negatives for the model are, for a model that should weigh 4 ounces, it's over an ounce light, and that's a lot. And also, as far as I can tell, the coal load doesn't come out. And so that's going to make it difficult to add weight to the car. But we got the specs on the car. We took a look at it. Let's get it out on the layout and run it. So Walter's Proto GP9. We'll go pick up those cars. Now we'll see how these Arrowhead open hoppers handle a series of number 4 turnouts. Get the train out on the main line and run it at higher speed. These Arrowhead models, open hoppers, ran beautifully. Absolutely no trouble, no body wobble. So these are really nice cars. The only downside of these cars is they're an ounce light and the coal loads don't come out. At least I don't think they come out. If you get the coal load out, where you can add another ounce of weight, or an ounce and a half of weight, these cars would be almost perfect. So I'm pretty happy with this purchase. The Broadway Limited car well, that was a learning experience. I won't be buying another one of those. But these Arrowhead models, these are excellent cars. So I thank you for watching. I hope you join me next time.